time for most, like me. Now, let's speak on it because it needs to be addressed. I was getting asked a question the other day. What the hell did he do? Kids, 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 kids. Now, let's get to it. Now, I've had married couples or people who are married come on here and they watch my videos and they say, man, I love those videos you used to do. Because you were describing my wife. She get mad. But it's not just me talking about the woman all the time. I talk about the men too and what the men need to do. Now, this is for married couples only. Anybody could listen to it, but this is mostly for married couples. Because Marianne, you asked the question. So you said, well, how would you give advice to fixing a marriage? I said, well, I'm not married. Not married. So, like I said, sometimes when you were talking about the Will and Jada video I did, when I said sometimes an outside person can see it better than the person that's in it. But the person that's in it, what I'm telling you, they see it also. They know. Everything you said, they know you right. They might yell at you and curse you out and everything, but they know you right. But it's their marriage and they want it to work out. So they're going to do everything in their power to get it to bend to their will. They figure they can fix it. In some cases, it can be fixed. But marriage goes through phases. And the reason why it goes through so many phases is because it's forever. It's supposed to be forever. So if it's supposed to be forever, why do everything go and react the way it does? Everyone thinks like everybody's just happy every day, and don't work that way. And just because somebody is upset and unhappy at a point in time, it's just like there's a reason for that. Don't mean everybody jump up, get mad, go get divorced because y'all had an argument about something. That's a part of marriage. So for those who have real problems and real issues in the marriage and they want some advice, then here's some you can take. List 5 things for the male and female, husband or wife, both of you together. Sit down together and do it. Don't say when you at work doing this or when you get time do it. No, y'all do it together. Sit down and list 5 things that you think is wrong in the marriage. Don't give anybody the correct answer or politically correct because you're wondering how she might feel about it. Hold no punches. And she shouldn't hold nothing against you, and you shouldn't hold nothing against what she has to say back. And the reason why you shouldn't is because you guys are married and all of that stuff's supposed to be on the table anyway. Shouldn't have to hold something against somebody. We're in this together, and this is for the betterment of us. So list your problems. You should be able to list them. And writing them on the piece of paper makes it real. It's on the paper. So ain't no taking it back when you write it on that paper. Don't go back and try to add something because of what someone else said on their list. Now, when you've done that, and you guys have stated what the issues are, and legitimately stated, now go through each one and see how we could have resolved and how we can resolve each and every one. See if that's the problem. It says, well, this is the top 5 things I think is wrong with our marriage. Or it's wrong, or I have a problem with it. And the other person will list their 5 and say, okay, well, how are we going to resolve these? Can we resolve these things here? And you know what you're doing? You're actually building and working on your marriage while doing this. Something as simple as this. Because you know how many couples spend time actually doing this? Less than 1%. Well, some things can't be resolved, then, you know, that's why they have divorces. They have all different type of things. Not all marriages can be saved. Sometimes people marry the wrong people. That happens. It happens a lot. And the reason why it happens a lot, because we've seen it a lot. The wrong person gets married. Or they marry for the wrong reasons. Maybe they're the person that shouldn't be married. We've seen that 1,000 times. It's like you're not even marriage material. Why are you even married? And when we mean marriage material, it means that some people have 1 foot in, 1 foot out the marriage. Okay, you can't be the single person and the married person at the same time. That single life, it's over. Okay, you got it. Once you are married, you're in it. Okay, you're in it. There's no more the single life crap. People still try to have their cake and eat it too. No, I can go out and hang out and do all this stuff I want to do. Don't. Why even tempt yourself? You are married. Start doing things then, Corey. I ain't saying you can't hang out with your buddies and all that, but if you know your buddies is going someplace where it's girls, and you're like, no, I can restrain myself. It's why are you there in that scenario? You know, it's like when I hang out with my buddy, I hang out with him and his wife. You know, I'm talking about my barber. I hang out with mostly him and his wife because I know how crazy she gets. And his other friends, they, you know, their whole thing is, let's go ahead and take them out, have a good time, whoop-de-whoop. It's going down. They love that because that's right up their alley. That sounds like a good old time to them. We get to go out and kick it. Oh, this is what I signed up for. But I know if I'm going to the places I normally go, where I got like naked girls serving me drinks, one girl dancing in my lap, I can't take him to stuff like this. Even though he ain't gonna do nothing, that's beside the point. I'm bringing him in that environment, which is a problem. And that's what I don't want to do. I don't want to be that guy. To be in that way, you end up in the middle of some garbage you don't want to have any part of. That's how stuff gets started. Like, if him and his wife throw a party, I'll go over there and, I don't want her to not ever be in the mix with him, I'll be like, look, if I hang out with you, she got to be there. I can't be hanging out with you and she's not there. Because that's a no good. It's a no good situation. Yeah, and they have a lot of problems. But I don't want myself to be included in any of it. So I eliminate myself from the equation by saying I'm not going to be caught into that. I hang out with him here, around this house with y'all. Other than that, nah. Ain't going down. No, she allowed him to go out somewhere with me because she knows I'm not gonna do that to him. She knows that. His other friends that I know of, they have no. They be coming in front of her showing her naked pictures of girls. Look at this. See this chick here? She nice, ain't she? And she'd be like, you can't hang with him. Why is people talking about wrong G right now? Somebody said, yeah, that's wrong G. That's what's his name's uncle? And his manager, Warren G. Uh, No, they said something about a car. Like if I buy a car and it's in my name, even though we married, that's still my car. So she still got to ask me permission to drive my car. She just can't drive my car. So, I got mad and they asked me, do you think I'm right about that, And I'm like, I'm not there. I don't know people's car situations and I don't know. It depends on the person. Some people are very sensitive about their cars. Males are very sensitive about space because 30% of the household is for the male. And I don't know how they get 30 because it's really less than that. The woman decorates the house. The woman puts the picture up on the wall. Women decide what pictures are going up on the wall. The man gets his man cave. They gave him that. That's his man cave. You got a man cave. Man cave is somewhere way off, distant from the house, a garage or a basement. That's his man cave. But you paying for half of the house, half of the bill. But you can't have no say on a photo going up on the wall. But like I said, that's a situation a husband and wife is gonna have to work out. My thoughts on that situation shouldn't make us a lick of difference because what do my thoughts matter about the car? Because that's a personal preference. What if it's an emergency? She needed to drive the car. I don't know. So it's all about the situation. Maybe she don't have a car, which is very rare nowadays. Most places people got 2 cars, or maybe her car is in the shop. But who knows? But that's part of a marriage. It's give and take. I wouldn't think of that as a major, like, this is it. I'm killing this thing. She's got to go. She don't understand. She wants to drive my car. That's on y'all. Now, I've seen a husband get rid of his wife because his wife did not like the fact he was dieting. Yeah, he was dieting and was losing weight and getting in shape, and she wasn't. And she felt like, how dare you diet without me? We do everything together. And they argued and fight over that because she was being very insecure with the fact that when they did exercise and run together, she wasn't really losing any weight. He changed his eating habits, foods, and everything, so he wasn't eating what she was cooking. So she started to feel a certain way because she's really unhappy with herself. So she took it out on him, and this went on for years before they decided divorce is imminent. She's not that big. She's not, how would I put it? She's like an average lady you see walking around. You know, she ain't big, she ain't skinny. You know, it's not that. It's what people feel comfortable with. Like they feel like they're not comfortable with how they look. I've seen super skinny people talking about they getting fat. I've seen it's weird, weird, weird. I'm telling you, the mind of a woman is incredible. What goes through their head some of the times. Trying to figure that out is like, why do you care? No, haven't been married. Don't think I ever will be. Each year I get closer and closer to never getting married a day in my life. Because I don't see the point. Because there's no benefit for me. I got to look at what's the benefit. Okay, if I'm having a heart attack, she could be there to assist me. Well, damn, I just get a life alert. I come out a lot cheaper. Hit life alert. Beep 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 beep. Come get me. Come get me. Come get me. Beep 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 beep. Now I know I don't have to sit around and watch some reality show I don't feel like watching. You say, what would you if your spouse doesn't want you to work two jobs but want more money in the house? Well, she better start working. She better start working another job. I'd be like, well, you don't want me working two jobs, but you want more money in the house. Well, the only solution I could think of is you finna take that other job. See, when a woman tells me that I'm working too much, that means that they're getting ready to move to date somebody else. Whenever I start hearing complaints about something that they knew from day one, I'll be like, I've been working the same hours since day one. Don't come in here today and start telling me all of a sudden, out of the blue, I'm working too much. All right, who the dude? What? No, who the guy? Must be some guy you want to date. So you're trying to pick a fight. Well, I supposedly, and this is the part I'm supposed to get mad, right? And we have it out, and you can go and tell him. He lashes out. I can't say nothing. I'm just feel trapped. I feel like it's not going anywhere. I'm just gonna end it. So I'm like, if we've arrived at that point yet, so I kind of feel like that's where we at right now. Oh, well, men don't get off the hook either. Men got their problems too. Everybody can't say like it's all the woman's fault. Men are one of the major people in the marriage who don't know how to conform. They think conforming means that's it. Conform means everything got to go your way. When in reality, what a man wants is they want to get married, have you stay at home, clean the house, cook them dinners, and take care of them, and you their new mama. Most time men get married to keep you from leaving them. They don't want you to go nowhere else. So a man will marry you to keep you from going somewhere else. She want to get married anyway because her friend got married, so I'm going to go ahead and marry her. Right now, that'll shut her up. Then you get the guy that likes to be married. He love hanging out with his wife. They play board games together. They have a lot of fun. Those marriages work out for a while because you know why? They're actually friends. It's not a chore to hang out with his wife. He loves her. Those are situations that are different. And those marriages last long because they actually like each other's company. So they don't look at it as an obligation. They don't mind hanging out with their wives. No, because when you have a friend or someone your friend, you actually give a damn. You care about how that friend's gonna feel. You care how that friend gonna react. You don't want to hurt your friend's feelings. Oh, that's my friend. Oh, they gonna love this. They go to the movies together. They like the same movies. They have things in common, which makes sense. To date someone you have something in common with. It only makes sense when it makes sense. Stop marrying people that you have no desire, I mean none, of moving forward with. Because men, we date down. Women date up. Successful men, they not looking for successful women. They looking for girls on Instagram. They looking for Instagram models to be their wives, to raise their kids and cook and do all of these things that that they skill sets is telling you they ain't prepared to do. They don't even want to clean their damn house. They don't care how nasty it looks. They're not willing to do any of it. Most of those girls on IG, they be butt naked, shaking their butt, and then the house be dirty. Dog ain't ate in 2 days. And you got the kid behind him pop locking and dropping it. I'd be like, and these are the women you want to take on trips, spend all this money on. For what? Why are you dating down? If you're successful, you should want to date someone else who's successful or goal oriented. But guys date down. Women date up. You don't see no Instagram model trying to kick it with some low life who ain't got nothing. She want to go after the man with the big bucks. They go for multi-million-dollar players. they not saying, hey, we want to get tied down and married and booed up with somebody who don't have anything. We didn't did that show. We trying to step up. It's the truth. Because men think they're supposed to want to get girls that go upwards. But in reality, a man feels very confident in a woman who has less than him. He feels like this is my ego. Most men can't date women that makes more money than them. They feel intimidated. And they think it makes them look small rather than saying us, they're thinking individually. And when you take individual thoughts into a marriage, you're screwing up from the jump. Because it is now you're part of a team. Once you get married, you team whatever your last name is. Y'all are on a team. She's on your team. Share the ball. You signed up for this. Trust me. I've seen couples who have dated for 12 years down there, got engaged for 3, got married finally after 3 years, had a big wedding, and was headed for divorce after the first 2 years of marriage. What changed? Y'all dated for 12 years since high school. Dated for 12 years, never got married. Then they got engaged for 3 years or whatever, then went ahead and had the wedding. It was a big thing of finally. 2 years later, they filed them for divorce. Why? How could it come so fast? Because if a man dates you for 12 years and never marry you, he never wanted to get married in the first place. Because he would have done it by now. Because what don't you know about that woman in 12 years? There's nothing else left to learn about that woman. So what is stopping you from marrying her? Because to me, it's asinine. Why? You're already going to be under common law. If you're already living with them and y'all in a relationship like that, it's like, why are you dragging this out? You know, some couples, they say, well, we're saving enough for marriage. Fine, you can get engaged then. Why you don't want to make an honest woman out of that lady? Now, if you just don't believe in marriage and don't want to get married, then hey, that's on you. But after 12 years, she should have known I'm with somebody who don't want to get married, period. You just don't want to get married. And there's men like that. You're looking at one. I don't want to get married. I used to think like, man, maybe by now I'll probably be married, find the right one. But nah, it's just not worth it. Because now I'm like, I'm just really putting myself at risk. And I would have to have lawyers and everybody else involved for this marriage. So it don't even make sense to do. What would I be doing it for? There's no upside for me. Yeah, they dated for 12 years, man. Straight out of high school. He never wanted to marry her. Let me take that back. He never said that. But the whole consensus was that he's a man that just don't want to get married. Then all of a sudden, he get engaged. 3 years later, you see what happened? They get married. They were married for 2 years, and then they filed for divorce. And they divorced now. They're not even friends. Well, they got in a fight over some girl that he didn't cheat with. The girl even admitted it and said, no, I didn't do that. Like, I used to date his cousin and blah, 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 blah. So I thought that was the case and that was over. But it wasn't even about cheating. He was lying about money and was hiding it from her. Took her check bonus that she got from her job. He took the money out of the bank and would go spend it. And he went gambling. I remember he went before. He went gambling and spent like a fortune. But that was her money. Well, she had a Christmas bonus or something, and he spent that. Like the majority of her money went into it. I guess they've had that conversation plenty of other times. Plus, she didn't trust the girl that he worked with, and all kind of craziness. So, I'm your wife, and I tell you I don't want like a female. That's supposed to go. It's stress. I'm telling you, that ring bring that stress. Hey, I gotta get it in when I gotta get it in, man. Shoot, I'm busy all day, so if it's time to clean, it's time to clean. I don't mess around. So I'm finna go lay it down in a minute. I like a clean house. So it's time to hit up my carpet, man. Renetta, I think it was Renetta who asked me that, or I think that's her name in the chat with Will and Jada. And she said, only married people can decide Like no one on the outside can decide a course. Nobody on the outside could tell a married person what to do. That's a no-brainer. They can just see it. It's not like a married person don't see it either. Married person see it too. They just in denial. And they'll get mad at you. They know you right. They just want to be the ones to fix it. They feel like we got it under control. But how dare you mention it? That's why I don't mention none to married couples. I just, unless they come and ask me something or they come talk to me just to vent, I just listen. Because one, I'm not married, so I don't know what they're going through. I can imagine what they're going through, but I don't know what they're going through because I'm not in it. I just put myself in that situation. I would be batshit crazy if I was in a marriage because my freedom would be gone. I'm someone who's used to just picking up and walking right out of the door. And I don't say a word. I mean, I did that like at my mom's career because I'm used to just doing that. I'm used to not having to tell anybody where I'm going. Period. I pick up and I'm gone. I know where I'm going. So, but when you're around people, you gotta like let them know where you're going, and it's just something you got to get used to. Right? If I'm dating a girl, she would never know what I'm doing from A to Z. I tell her what I've already done. She'd be like, "What did you do today?" Because I never gonna tell her like what I'm planning on doing and this and that, unless she asks. Like you got plans for this day? I'll be like, let me see. Yep, yep, and yep. Oh no. Um, she was saying like the problem is when the sex go bad in the relationship. That could cause problems, and that she thought that was causing problems with Will and Jada. And she see that it's this when the sex go bad in a marriage, and sex go bad at certain times, and sometimes a woman gets frustrated because the sex is now bad, and she feels like the man ain't trying. I'm like, well, if you married a man for sex, not saying that you did, and if the sex is bad, you got to work with your husband or spouse or whatever, and try to help him through it because y'all are married. Marriage don't say like you're married into his, you know what ain't working no more. I mean, if they're gonna start putting stipulations in marriages, then people might get married. I'd be like, okay, well, this ain't for life no more. It's until my car breaks down. Till I get fired or if I go on unemployment, we can go our separate ways. Well, the rules for marriage needs to be, rectified. The reason why the marriages were more in favor of the woman is because normally in the past, most wives were stay-at-home moms. They've given up their careers to take care and raise the children while the man goes out and makes the money and takes care of the household. So in a divorce or split or whatever, the male would have to take care of the wives. That's why I was in that position. But now you got women working too. So now, it's like, okay, the woman is working just as much as the man. So those things need to be modified for today's times. It's not a lot of stay home wives anymore. It don't take two to tango. I've seen somebody tango and do the tango by themselves. They be like, it don't take two to tango no more. They will tango by themselves. It's a new day and age. Oh, in a lot of cases now, it's almost a crime to be a man. They tried to get a football coach fired for yelling at a child on the football field to get him to play harder and not make mistakes. And all the guy was like, hey, come on, fix it. This coach, this aggressiveness is not good for the child. Then pull his ass out of football. Maybe your kid ain't made for football. Maybe he's made for girls' track. Why is he got to be so aggressive? Because this is football. It's a very aggressive sport. People are getting hit. Oh, wait till you see my OnlyFans video. Meaning, no, I have a video on YouTube about OnlyFans. Wait till you see that. You want to talk about what's crazy. Well, because you have a lot of uneducated girls, young girls, and they young adults, and they don't know how to build with anyone with money. They feel like, well, you got all this money playing basketball, so I need some of it. That's how they feel. You supposed to give me this because you play football. I need some of it. Oh, they said on the news, you just closed the deal for $44 million. Well, I think I need some of it. I'll be like, I'm not even with you. We got a kid together, and my kid don't need $250,000 a month. He in diapers. You see, that's the problem. And most young athletes go into professional sports as a career at very young ages before they even know anything about life or money. They're already in the dating world, and they're already in a financial world where the money is way above their comprehension of knowing how to handle it and deal with it, you know? It broke my heart to see a player have to lose his money and an athlete have to lose his money because a manager has ripped him off. And in boxing, you see that a lot. And I've seen a lot of those stories. More than I've seen it in the NBA, because in the NBA, people had access to millions early on. But I've seen professional athletes get completely ripped off of their money. And it's a sad thing to see. I've seen wives, baby mothers, girlfriends, girls who've never slept with them a day in their life walk away with paychecks. Girls would lie and said this man slept with me and my girlfriend one night, and sexual assaults, and they would pay the money to make it go away just because they had something going on that they needed to address, or it was going to mess up something big that they was working on down the line. So they would settle it, and all that does is open up the floodgates. I know a professional athlete, the wife actually set up his cheating, put him in a room full of girls so that he would cheat. And he didn't even do it. He went till he saw it, laughed, and said, "Oh, I get it." And he was like, one of the girls was at his wedding and was like, "Oh, I know you. You ain't finna get me. You ain't finna get me in that bag." So that was on Maury. What? Maury Povich? Nah, he went to his room. He didn't even participate in any of it. And all of a sudden, in the snap of a finger, all hell broke loose. All hell broke loose in the snap of a finger, because there was photographs of him dancing with the girls and all of this. So naturally, what at it, photos, dancing on girls, it was the look. So when she got the divorce, they're talking about some wild partying, cheating, and all that, he just settled out of court. She got almost everything she wanted. He was giving her the house, but she got that, the car, she got it. She got everything. Sometimes men get very stupid. They forget that you don't ever divorce a woman who has control of your financials. If your wife does your financials, you got to be the dumbest man on earth to aggravate that woman. Why would you aggravate a woman that has you by the balls? I'm not rich. I'm just not living check to check, but I'm not rich. I said rich is when you no longer have to work for a living. And you can just retire right now, just do whatever the hell you want to do. You ain't got to do nothing no more. That's when you're rich. You can stop everything you're doing right now and don't have to worry about bills or nothing. You're rich. Now, I'm not that. Well, the thing is that do you see a lot of these young white players going through this? No. White professional athletes don't go through this at all. You know why? Because a lot of them are marriage oriented. If they do cheat, they take care of the wife, they pay, they get it over with, and then they go do their thing when they single again. The majority of them, they are family oriented. They got a wife, they cool with their wife. They not trying to go out and buy gold chains and gold and diamond necklaces. Why is that? They not trying to buy the Bugatti. They're not trying to buy the Maybach Sport. They're not trying to buy these cars. They're buying Prius. Now, you might say, well, what are they doing differently than the black athletes? But you never hear these white athletes going broke. Nobody talking about how John Stockton and blew half his money. Mark Eaton ain't doing well. When he was playing, Mark Price, I don't know what he's gonna do. Somehow they multi-millions of dollars don't get mentioned. But no, they thinking family based. Most of us is thinking, and especially the younger we coming in now, we thinking of how many women can we sleep with. We're coming in the game with the wrong attitude. And when you got that wrong approach from the start, it only leads to bigger problems. And women who are in marriages, please be respectful to your husband. It's okay to dress sexy, but to dress slutty, to go places, is childish. Okay? Stop competing with your daughter. Stop competing with all these other young girls who not married. You are married. Dress respectfully, please. You don't have to have all your clothes off to be sexy. Sexy is a state of mind. Stop trying to seduce and get people to check you out, to make your husband feel inadequate. It's ridiculous. Right. You shouldn't be out there married and have your tits hanging all the way out down there in your plate. I've seen some husbands that like their wife to dress like that. A husband that like that kind of stuff, and like his wife to dress like that, that's a man that's cheating on his wife. first chance he get. Because he ain't thinking right. I mean, you got to think about it. Like the girl in the last post, what she say? About what she was saying about marriage. She was like, well, they got to fix, she said Will and Jada is about fixing the sex or whatever. That's where it went wrong with Will. And she was talking about they should at least have sex 2 times a week. That's got to be in the agreement. I'm like, once you start putting numbers to sex, you've already screwed it up. You've already screwed that up. That's a decision that both people make when they both are in the mood to go ahead and do that. Once you start saying, well, come on now, we gotta get 2 off today, so that means we gotta go back to back. We gotta keep up with that 2 times a week. Can't break the schedule. It's crazy. You're gonna already screw that up. So, all right, you don't want to fall into that trap. Well, people got decisions to make, you know. Either you recognize and realize that this is what you want. This is something you want to be a part in. This is something you believe in. Something you want to do. Saying, hey, this is my marriage. I want to fight for it. These are the things I got to do to get it right. Then by all means, take those steps. But if there's something you don't value, or you in it for the wrong reasons, definitely don't waste that other person's time. Men gotta stop treating women like they're not your mother. Your wives are not your mom. Don't let her be your mom if she's trying to be. Do not let that happen. But some will accept that role. Then later complain and blame you for it. So, you don't want to do that. Now, women have to understand, you cooking for your family and you cleaning your house is not a punishable crime. That is just a wife taking care of her family. A man can do it also, but if a man is asking you to do that, doesn't mean he wants you to be subservient to him. It's not what that means. It's just a woman taking care of her family, doing what women have done for thousands of years. So don't make it more than what it is. Women, you have to make up your mind. You can't be, I'm Miss Independent, but I need you to do this and I need you to do that. You're either going to be one or the other. Either you Miss Independent or you part of a marriage. Which one is it? Can't be both. Well, it's like this. No man wants a woman acting like a man. At least none that I know. And if you are a woman, why would you want a man that isn't acting like a man? So you have to ask yourself that. You know, that's what I would think. That would be the biggest question that we see right there in the scenario. Oh, what is a man and what is a woman? Do we have to go down that line? I'm just saying, you have to stop the little things that turn into the big things. And people, if you start seeing these things develop more, instead of these garbage stuff that we participate in and married at first sight, stupidity. So you start seeing more stupidity like that hitting the screen, then you start seeing more people lost in the sauce, in other words. So, yeah. I mean, because it's not beneficial. That's why you see less marriages from blacks and things like that. But now, these younger generation, they're getting married now. You're seeing more fathers taking care of their children or being present in their children's lives nowadays with this newer generation of younger kids. In African American communities, you're seeing it a lot more now. They're getting married now. Yeah, they're taking care of their children. They're in their children's lives. So, yeah, they're not promoting that to you though. They want to promote to you what's happening in the hood and act like that's the only time or only place black people ever exist is the hood. So we all live in the hood. So what's happening there that's all everywhere in the world. And that's not necessarily true, even in the hood. You having people right now in the hood where they're in there being fathers to their kid. So I've been seeing that a lot. Even if they ain't even living there, they're spending time actually doing the work. They walking their kids to school, they are involved. So I'm very proud of that, seeing that change. But nobody's commending or talking about that. They always focus on the negative. So when you see more and more people step up and decide that that's what they want to do, then make decisions, then it could be done. People made a decision that they want to be more present. But people don't like to hear about progress. They like to hear about just the negativity. Like, people are tuning in to hear people argue that they never come to a resolution on. They just continue the argument the very next week or the very next day. Why do you think shows like First Take and Undisputed continue to do numbers? Because they never come to an agreement. They just continuously argue the same topic over and over and over and over, because that's what we're used to. When someone's making progress or they doing something, it's not even acknowledged. They move past that like it never happened, and they stay glued to the rules of negativity, because that's what they want to focus on. And then sometimes in a marriage, that is a main key, a very key thing. People don't know how to move on. If you've forgiven somebody and whatever the mistake is, once you said, I forgive them, it's over. The situation's over. You move on to a new song, because if you keep forgiving them and they said they sorry and you forgave the person, you keep bringing it up, you keep putting it over their head, let them know that you ain't over it. You keep bringing it back up, so obviously you're not over it. If you keep bringing it up, don't say, I said it was my fault or whatever, or everybody said it was their fault. We came to an agreement. It was over with. I was forgiven. We got past it. Either we got past it or we didn't. But you keep harping over it does not help. But what did I just tell y'all earlier? People focus on the negative rather than the progress, the moving forward, any of that. They want negativity because they're used to it. Yeah, wives don't, but so does men. Men are like that too. They don't never get over nothing either. They keep harping over stuff, won't let it go. I've seen that too. Man don't want to let it go. I mean, dude, just let it go. Because all you're going to do is get them back upset. And then they can't, now instead of, building and moving forward with this being over, now they want to catch you in a mistake just so they can throw it back in your face. Throw some negativity your way. Now, who does that help? Men are just as emotional as women. Yeah, today they are. Because they're not allowed to be men. They're being told that being a man is a negative. Masculinity, too much toxic masculinity. I'll be like, what's toxic about being a man? So of course they're emotional. They promoting men to be emotional and docile. And we cannot, look at the Chris Rock getting slapped thing. If this is the 80s, it'd be like, you got slapped, so. All right, they can go have a beer, talk it out, it's over. But now, he's got to get emotional support. They got emotional therapists. You got all kind of stuff going on. And we got a video coming too. It's already done. You're going to want to see that. It's about Rock's statement. Now you get to hear what's happening on the Rock side. And I got Chris Rock's contacts too. So, I told you I got everybody contact that was involved. yeah, I got that video coming. That's gonna be on Casino for Life. Well, no, here's the thing. They've made men supposed to feel sorry for being a man. And they told the women it's okay to be masculine and independent and don't need one. So that's why you have more emotional men than ever. Now, somebody tell me what's wrong with that picture. Well, we have people that are highly vested in the it's some Snoop Dogg wine. Some wine that got Snoop on. Ooh, my chocolate chip cookies. Freshly baked. I want none but strictly chocolate chip. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about right there. Well, you gotta understand, when people make arrangements in certain situations, they're thinking about themselves in a whole different state. They're not thinking about what you might be thinking about. Well, see, most men, it's different for them. The woman has to think about, especially if there's kids involved, they have to think more about the kids almost more than the father, because it's Papa's baby, his mama's baby, Papa's maybe, you know. They're the mother. They gave birth to those kids. So it's different. So a woman is going to really have to look out for the kids and be there and make the runs. So you're going to need a life partner in this. Men and women are not going to agree all the time. It's not going to happen. So people need to just get over that. You're going to have times where for a week you probably can't stand it. 2 weeks, 3 weeks or whatever, you might have a whole period where it's like, she been mad at me for 2 months. I guess we back cool now. So that happens in a marriage. I've seen it happen. But if y'all not friends, don't even get married. Don't even get married. If you not friends with your wife, don't get married. She ain't one of your best friends. because you're asking for disaster. Because you'll get annoyed. I know me. I couldn't see myself living every day with the same woman. Because I would get annoyed me walking in the house, seeing her every day. I'd be like, I can't do this. I don't want to come home tonight. I need my space. So that's just me. I like my space, and I'm used to this. So I would have to change my whole life. It's like going through the pandemic. How you got used to being in the house and you went outside for the first time. You know how weird that felt? You have to go through being used to doing that again, right? So same thing here. I had to get used to these things again. And me, I would have to, I don't know if there's any house left for her. Her stuff would have to go in the guest room. I'd be like, you can use the guest room. Cause all this is mine. Like my mom thinks she finna take my room when she get here. Y'all are gonna be in the guest room. I'm gonna get a new mattress though. Guest room. I just wanna know if they can come take the old one and get rid of it. Oh, so it's self-checkout in the morning. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't ready for this. Yeah, I want to register.
Okay, you can hop on 7. I'll get
7? Cool. Yeah, this is better for me. Uh, well, they should have told me something, you know. And when I don't hear back or somebody don't tell me something, then I don't actually know. So if someone is numb or just right. So if people is naive to the facts, then I don't even pursue it. Hey, how you doing? I'm hanging in there. You know, women have the habit of belittling their husbands in front of their friends. I don't know when that became cool to do, but I mean, they'll do it right in front of the man, like he's not even in the room, and then expect him not to feel a certain way about it. And men, you gotta stop making plans for your wife and not having conversations with her first. Can y'all please stop that? Y'all gonna get yourselves knocked out. Yeah, we going to the game Saturday. I gotta stay. She don't wanna go to the game. All of it without the ring. The majority of it. Then seen the rest of it. Oh, well, I already seen that mistake. Like I told you, if your wife is your financial advisor, you should tread very lightly about doing anything. Yeah, he had to learn a very valuable lesson. I mean, she's the financial advisor to everything. Her name's on all of everything. So it was imperative.
I'm gonna ask you for target circle.
It was imperative that he get a forensic accountant for everything. He had to get the best lawyer around. Oh yeah, he lost everything. And she was even spiteful. She told the judge, I need to get his championship belts and for his sons. And the judge gave it to her. Never put a wife in charge of your finances like that. Mm-mm. I know a lot on that. Because no one knows more of your secrets than your spouse. Your spouse knows a lot of your secrets. So it's very careful. Be very careful with who you mess with and piss off. I got some of it on the Patreon. And that's just some of it. The rest of it, I was like, I can't even put this out. And this was years ago. I was like, I can't. I think she got mad at me because I couldn't do it or that I didn't do it. But I'm like, I can't do that. And they had a big fight on Twitter. For the whole world to see. They stopped following each other. And I had to mediate everything on Twitter with a professional athlete and his wife. For the whole world to see. I had to stop it. I said, look at here, man. I said, you know. I said, you know your woman, you and your wife got children. And they're old enough that they're on social media. And their friends in school are gonna come up to them and be your mom and dad were arguing on social media. y'all either DM each other. I know y'all unfollowed each other, but if y'all want to talk like this, y'all need to follow each other and DM each other. Because your kids are watching this. And they're old enough now. So where they're gonna have to go to school and their friends are gonna be whispering about this stuff about them. Then that finally got their attention so that they would stop. And then, next thing you know, I was the one in the middle of the DMs. They're DMing me, explaining their side of the story. And I'm like, why am I in the middle? I said, y'all DM each other, not me. I don't need to be in the middle of it. I didn't put myself in the middle of it. I just told them DM each other. Don't put it on public so the whole world could see. It didn't need to. That didn't need to be on the public forum. That need to be in private. Y'all got children that's old enough to watch social media and probably have social media accounts. And you don't want their friends going to school making fun of them. No, they realized I was correct. And they stopped. No, I wasn't. I was doing the right thing. So I did not need to be DM'd. What are you talking about? They listened and they stopped posting it on the public forum. But what's shocking and crazy is I did not expect them to start DMing me about what's going on. Then the wife started emailing me things that was wow. I'm just like, I don't know what this is, but I was like, I can't put this out. Nah, can't do that. I'm like, this is too crazy for words. No, I didn't. If I enjoyed it, I would just let it go on. I was telling them, no, stop. Y'all going way too far. Y'all kids is out here, stop. So if I wanted it to go on and I was loving it, I wouldn't have been telling them to stop and just talk to each other in DM. Yeah, he accused her of sleeping with this guy and that he used to work with. And I'm like, I don't like the guy either, but you know, this stuff is getting crazy now. I'm like, I don't like that guy either. So, you know, but I got my other reasons for not liking that guy. But stop. Now the thing is that that person got caught cheating, and what the man did was do a deflect and try to say, hey, you was cheating too. I know you was cheating with such and such. So that's basically what it was. And all this stuff was being leaked out in the public. And it was like, whoa, people were going, I'm like, y'all about a hairpin away from getting sued. I don't know how people could even troll this early in the morning. To me, it's super late at night. But I'm going to get out of here, man, and try to get some work out and see you guys. Because this is my cleanup day. So this is when I normally clean the house. Do all the things that, you got to do the dirty work. I don't want to be like Gummy out here in the dirty house. I can't have no dirty house. I gotta start getting it clean or get a maid. My maid don't like it because I'm like, they thought like I was gonna be calling them every week. I'm like, no. I call y'all when I want a deep clean. Like I want stuff deeply clean. Like I want the vents clean. I want all that. Yeah, I call y'all for that. But y'all think y'all finna I'm just calling y'all every week because I'm lazy enough to not clean my house? Nah. That don't work. Not with me. I don't want y'all getting too familiar. I tell you, I'm gonna get life alert. They're like, you gotta have a wife in case you get passed out somewhere. I'll be like, nah, I get life alert. It's cheaper. Life alert ain't gonna have me watching no reality shows I don't feel like watching. I don't think I'm ever gonna recover from watching WAGs. Wives and girlfriends. What the fuck is this? Next. Oh, you said neat. All right, man. Let me go ahead and get these groceries out and get my house in order. All right, I'm a holler.